What's up, guys, and happy holidays. Bryan Lebo here with your Las Vegas market update video for December 2019. Well, it's the last video of the year, and after a few quiet months, we finally have some news to cover. So before we cover the typical analytics, let's chat about some recent news. A couple weeks ago, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, it's a mouthful there, announced new conventional loan limit increases for next year. These increases are predicated on the county that you live in, which ultimately is dictated by the median price in that specific county. While all of Nevada currently has a loan limit of about $485,000, for 2020, that limit will be increased to just over $510,000. This was a 5.3% increase. Now, this is important for both buyers and sellers. If you're a buyer, this means that you can purchase a home for up to about $535,000 with only 5% down, and you still have a conventional loan, instead of having to jump into jumbo loan territory, where typically it requires more money down and a higher interest rate. Now, for sellers, this is great if you're selling a home in, say, the $500,000 to $600,000 price range. Many buyers don't want a jumbo loan, so they negotiate right up to their limit. So now that their limits have risen, you can expect some of these buyers to now be willing to increase their purchase price by about the same $30,000 as well. While we don't really tend to do nearly as many FHA loans as we used to during the recession, those limits also were raised from just over $314,000 to just over $331,000. Now, the next subject has to do with predictions, or should I say speculations, for next year. First, there was a report by Realtor.com that predicted home prices would decline in a quarter of the top 100 housing markets next year, including Las Vegas. They predicted Vegas home values would drop by 1.1% and sales would be down 9.5%. Then, 1 week later, the National Association of Realtors came out and stated that Las Vegas would likely overperform over the next several years. Now, personally, I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle. You have to at least be a bit cynical enough to realize that even if a nuclear bomb exploded in Las Vegas, the National Association of Realtors would never say anything negative about our market. Considering our inventory is incredibly small, the job market is strong, and hell, we still have California right next door. So there's likely no end to the California exodus coming over here. So I wouldn't expect much next year, but I also don't think we'll see prices recede overall either. Okay, now let's pivot a little bit and talk numbers. First up are last month's sales. Last month, we sold 2,233 homes for a 5% increase over last year. This now makes 4 straight months where sales are up over last year. Now, this is kind of strange considering 6 out of the first 7 months of this year saw some pretty huge sales reductions from last year. All right, next is everyone's favorite topic, median home prices. As you can see on the screen now, last month was identical to October, where we dropped to $305,000. So technically, right now, we're only up 3.4% from this exact same time last year. Next, let's check in on our current inventory levels. On the screen now, you can see that we ended November with only 6,631 homes on the market, for a little over an 8% decrease from October. This also makes 5 straight months of declining inventory. We haven't seen 5 months like this since the end of 2017, when we were below 5,000 homes in total. Now, normally I cover the inventory breakdown and the notice of default activity here, but let me just say, dude, it's all the same. About 98% of the market are normal or, traditional sales, and just over 2% are short sales and foreclosures. As for the notice of defaults, it's been relatively consistent at about 200 per month for a long time now. So, as we all know at this point, there's not much foreclosure activity going on, and it appears as though nothing is on the horizon either. As is typical this time of year, the market's pretty sleepy. So we'll have to see how we end up closing this month out. So last December sales dipped by a whopping 20%, and the median price dropped almost $5,000. Now, judging by the first half of this month, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a repeat of last year. Well, that's it for this month, guys. Stay tuned for a larger video next month when I wrap up the numbers for 2019 and see how my predictions for this year actually turned out. Then, we'll see. Maybe I'll make some predictions for 2020. Have a wonderful holidays and a safe New Year's, everyone. See you all in the Roaring 20s.